The energy is South Node. Don't forget everything about this transit this time around, last seen in the 1990s for 3 months, last seen in 1896, is asking you to surrender. So I know it's tough if you're a lion and your big courageous heart is always looking for the next bold adventure. But I'm telling you, it's let go, let God. Let yourself lean into the arms of what is already happening. Astrology. Hello, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're talking about your astrology in September of 2026. And this is a month where you're going to have some new beginnings that are quite positive in your financial matters. But you're also going to notice a bit of grit coming through the month as Mars is asking you about what you really want and asking you to investigate how you might be letting your own life down, how you're tripping yourself up and sometimes being your own worst enemy. Mars is there to show you some clarity, but he might also give you the opportunity for some significant travel in September. So welcome to my channel. My name is Lori Lothian, and this is Western Tropical Zodiac Astrology. Now, I am a teaching astrologer. I'm just going to get it right out of the way so that you don't miss the August special. Like, the price is low in August. It will go to full price in September. Join me in Sky Reader, my yearly class, taught 7 years in a row. This is Sky Reader 7.0, third week of September, 7-week boot camp to learn to read the map of time that is astrology, to read your natal chart and use 2 very simple and effective timing tools that even a beginner can learn. So by the time you finish this course with me, you'll have a timing tool for your friends and family, for you, for everyone around you. You'll learn the basic language of astrology. No, you won't be certified to be an astrologer, but you will know how to get your own sky read. I may not teach this class again. I'm not joking. Sounds like I'm just as a gimmick. No, no, no. I've got 2 books I'm trying to write, and next year I want to write those books. And so that means I might take a break from teaching. Although next year I do have Mapmaker and Codebreaker planned already. Those are the courses that follow Sky Reader. So come join me in school if you like this back to school September. In the description box below, LoriLothian.com, everything you need to know. Follow the link, read about the course, see if it's right for you. At the end of this video, you can go all the way to the end and you'll find a little 10-minute presentation by me where I'm talking about the course and showing you the back end of my website and going a little deeper into the most commonly asked questions about the course. All right, so guys, I am so kind of looking at September for you as a Leo as a bit of a relief. You know, when you had that total solar eclipse with the South Node, you know, very rare, not seen this way since the 1971 time frame, and that to some degree 2008. And so it's not quite the same as, you know, those eclipses, but it's similar. Total solar eclipse in Leo on the 12th of the month of August may have rattled you. You might have felt it, like you might have been feeling it all through the entire month of August, even late July, as you felt the pressure building towards this momentous energy of a new beginning and a portal to something different in your reality. So I'm giving you credit for getting through that, because you are the Leos that are living the time of this eclipse most directly. And that eclipse was at 20 Leo. So of course, the closer your ascendant or your moon or your sun is to that eclipse, then the more impacted you might have felt. FYI, you know, your sun is your father and father figures, moon is your mama and mother figures and home. And so those are ways it may have impacted you. Keep in mind that the eclipse itself can unfold over months, not days. And so you're still under the back energy of the eclipse behind you as you move into the month of September, but you've got tailwinds now. It's kind of like you're moving past it. It's like something about it has hit the mark and now you're moving on, but it still can tumble into life changes for the next year. So there is that. So, Leo, I'm going to bring you a picture of the sky. You can listen for sun, moon, and rising, guys. Stella, my editor, always inserts a little blurb about how to listen to your sun versus your moon versus your rising somewhere in here. And so here we have the sky. Hello, guys. You always ask me, rising sign, sun or moon, how do I listen to this thing in astrology? Well, your sun is who you really are. Think of it about your spiritual essence, your divine light, the flame of your soul that lives forever, takes on a body, and that body is the ascendant. You might think of your sun sign like the actor who plays the role in the movie. Your sun is the real you, and the role you're playing in the movie, well, that's your rising sign. You tend to look like that sign. You tend to act like the personhood of that character in the simulation. It is not your real self, but you need a vehicle for your spirit to express. And when we look at your moon sign, we think about how you feel and think about life, your happiness, your emotional blueprint, your subjective well-being. But you remember the moon is only reflecting the light of the spiritual essence of you, the sun. So therefore, it's a temporary aspect or an operating system for your consciousness. I see a lot of the time that people's moon sign is really useful when you want to see how you're going to feel about this sky, but it also connects you very strongly to energies of home, safety nest, and mother. The moon is that stuff to do with the nurturant part of reality. When we talk about your sun sign, it can be father related material, but also connections to your purpose and career. For your soul is inherited, is on planet Earth to do something, right? And we usually call that a purpose of some kind. And lastly, the ascendant, very sensitive to your body, very sensitive to the fates and the circumstances of life. That is where your rising sign is, how you showed up, took the first breath of life. What was the sign on the eastern horizon at the time of birth? That's what the rising sign is. And it's very accurate for delineating astrology, at least until the age of mid-40s. And we begin to move back into our true self, into our solar energy. And we'll notice that our sun sign becomes as accurate or can be more and more actively useful for prediction. Already, sometimes you'll look at children for the first 7 years and they're operating primarily on sun sign energy. So when you're looking at your kids, definitely listen for their sun sign over their rising sign. All right, guys, here's that short form. Take it away. Let's go into the chart ahead. This is you, Leo. This is as if it's an ascendant. If you were listening for your sun, we pretend the sun is in Leo in the first house. We pretend the moon is in Leo in the first house. And we say things are happening X number of houses away from your moon or your sun. It's called derived houses. And that's how we operate here on YouTube, doing those delineations. Now, Leo, the energy is South Node. Don't forget everything about this transit this time around, last seen in the 1990s for 3 months, last seen in 1896, is asking you to surrender. So I know it's tough if you're a lion and your big courageous heart is always looking for the next bold adventure, but I'm telling you, it's let go, let God. Let yourself lean into the arms of what is already happening and into the arms of what is meant to be happening in your life. You're on an eclipse ride. There ain't no steering wheel on that roller coaster. So take a break and don't be so hard on yourself trying to navigate reality as if you do have that steering wheel. Good old Carrie Underwood's song, Jesus Take the Wheel. Good for you for not just the month of September, but for the next few months, indeed, for the next 18. The energy here as we begin the month is very positive. We start off the month with Mercury, the messenger of the gods, having a good news moment or exciting developments because Mercury will sextile Mars. Now, Mercury will be in your money house, right? This is like finances, earnings, possessions, possess a car, possess a sofa. This is your house of money you make. It's also the house of your teeth and your face. And this is news or information or commercial opportunity to buy or sell something. And Mars is over here in the 12th house. Now, 12th house is very subtle. This is what I mentioned about, you're kind of looking at which ways have I been my own trip up artist, where I think I'm doing fine, but then I am like a saboteur of my life, where I am falling away from my own power. And Mars is there digging up some under Cancer water to have you look more clearly at your life and particularly your childhood. A lot of Leos are going to start seeing how childhood impacted them as well as past lives. But your mom, your dad, the way you were raised, Mars rules your fourth house, and you're kind of digging under the hood of your childhood car to find out what it's made out of and where those ropes and wires go and what you need to fix and what you need to clean the pistons or something, because your childhood is the ticket to clearing your own self-undoing. And so you're looking at that kind of being a sleuth of your emotions and your childhood and your past. Now, that said, Mercury says news. Could be money news, could be news about your teeth or your face. It could be information or legal contracts involving financial matters. It feels good to me because we also see that while Mercury is in the sign of Virgo on September the 1st, well, he rules your 11th house of good spirit, where you have happy surprises that can happen vis-a-vis Uranus. We'll talk more about some of those happy surprises on the money front. Even windfalls and pennies from heaven, maybe even winning money, can happen later on. It'll feel like you win money even if you don't. All right. There's grit in the sky on the last 4 or 5 days of August, and it trails into about the 3rd and 4th of September. The gritty energy is Mars out of dignity and in a really tight square to Saturn. It's frustration. It's wanting to move forward and yet being unable to do so. Something is frustrating you. Something is stop and start. Something is delayed. Now, it can be a delay of travel plans, especially abroad. It can be a delay of situations involving education, a sibling too older, delay involving matters connected to your court and legal cases that you're pursuing in life. Frustration with the ninth house has many forms. I mean, sometimes it's just you're frustrated with a lack of a spiritual understanding as you move through your code of your spiritual life. So whatever this is, it's like, ugh, it feels like the last week of August and the first week of September, first few days of September. It's just a little gritty. And yet at the same time, that's accompanied by a beautiful flow from Lord Jupiter at the very same time to Saturn. And therefore, those first 4 to 5 days of September have a very mixed bag energy. Jupiter is you feeling optimistic, courageous, big-hearted, you feeling good about being you, the lion in the realm of the world, big-hearted lion you feeling positively large, but also feeling like there's something that lion-hearted part of you wants to accomplish. You know it's going to take time, and it's going to be over time because Saturn is the Lord of time. So time will take to actualize a dream, your dream university, your dream college, your dream trip, your dream a mentor guide or learning or studying something, or your dream outcome in a legal case. Anyway, you have all this visionary power up here, but look, Jupiter is helping, but Saturn is applying. So Saturn is slow down. Keep your hope and optimism high. Don't let your high spirits, wane here. I feel like it's a feeling state for a lot of you, but if it's Jupiter Sun, it's career related opportunity with delay. If it's Jupiter Moon, home and moving related opportunities with delay. And some of this challenge you're feeling may involve it's not a challenge. Some of this delay you're feeling or this constriction, because time is of the essence, may involve your children as well. And it may be matters with your children that are going to go at a slower pace than you would prefer. Now, the second week of the month, let's talk about the 7th to about the 15th, 16th. There's a huge amount of energy here. The first thing that happens in that second week of the month is the moon will be new in Virgo. Virgo is your money house. The moon will come here. Let's take a look at that as we watch the moon move here together. Alrighty? So when the moon enters into your second house and becomes new and fresh, it sets in motion a cycle. It could take up to a year, but it certainly will be evident in the 2 to 3 weeks after of new beginnings on the financial front. It could be a new dietary changes as well. When the moon is exactly new, it'll be the 10th, 11th, time zone dependent. Mercury will have crossed over into your third house. So new financial beginnings connected to social media, online, writing, teaching, learning projects, new financial beginnings connected to siblings, new financial beginnings connected to travel, shorter distance, and new financial beginnings that are definitely connected to the word neighborhood. Now, this isn't this is your hood. This is your street. This is your village. This is the everyday world that you inhabit. Now, new financial beginnings connected to neighborhood can indicate possibly some of you might be moving. You might be moving into a rental property. You might be wanting to buy or sell and possess a new home. So there is a potential the new beginning, while in a money house, can also indicate a new beginning in a locational manner as well. So let me know if any of you have that happen. You may have a new beginning as well in any writing projects that you're doing if you're a writer, or any entrepreneurial or artistic projects, as well as any projects connected to the online world. But it's all about new beginnings that also bring financial positivity your way in some fundamental manner. After the new moon in the sign of Virgo, we're going to notice that we have a Sun and Mars hookup between September the 11th and the 17th. It's a long 6-day window of time. Put it on your calendar, because while Mars is not in good shape, he is working with the Sun in Virgo, and the Virgo Sun is just fine. So it's like, okay, what do you want to create on your financial front? For some of you, this is money made from international revenue, borderless income, digital income, money made because you're traveling abroad, a digital nomad, living in another country, or money made because you work for an international firm. These are ways that Mars and the Sun are are indicating financial issues connected to distant shores or financial situations. And the sun is a light shining here, right? Putting a spotlight on your money, connected to also expenses. We have expenses in the 12th house. You might be feeling overexpensed, like you're spending too much money. And this is a spotlight on where that money is going. And is it going for travel? Is it going for your neighbors? Is it going for a relocational opportunity, such as a home buy, purchase, or sale? There's many ways that this could look for you. With Mercury coming into an opposition to Saturn, this could also be looking at the money and expenses you spend regarding your spouse, your spousal relationship, and shared money coming to your attention in September 11th to 17th, as well as the potential for money and expenses connected to pets and rental property opportunities. All right, so let's continue. You have Mercury trine Uranus, sextile Pluto, a trine Pluto on the window of September 12th to the 14th. Now, this is what we call September 12th to the 14th, a big grand air trine, which makes it quite positive. If I was not even paying attention to Pluto, what I'm going to say is a happy surprise and a positive surprise. A money surprise could be here. This is like windfalls or pennies from heaven or things happening like a dream come true out of the blue. Good positive surprises connected to friends, groups of belonging, allies, and benefactors, but also a sibling, one older. And then surprise, something good is happening. This is going to be around September the 12th to the 14th. Now, it could be a surprise opportunity to travel with a sibling, to visit a sibling visiting you, a surprise around your online social media landscape, and more money, more success. Anyway, whatever the surprise is, it feels like you're going to welcome it. And the trine to Pluto brings in power, transformation, and growth. It also opens up a connection to your business partners and spousal relationships as well. And so there's kind of a grand surprise made up of air. Maybe also, what is it that you really wish to have come true in your life that's meaningful and purposely aligned with your dharmic path? There may be a surprising breakthrough here. It's really an ideal placement for anyone in the publishing industry or writing industry for a breakthrough moment as well that really knocks your socks off and makes you feel extremely happy. And finally, I feel like this surprise, because it's all, mercurial, phone calls, text messages, and emails. Look for that surprise to show up that way, and you'll feel it September 12th to the 14th. Unexpected, but positive. On September 12th to the 17th, there's a difficult flow or lack thereof between Venus and Pluto. Now, Venus is moved into Scorpio. Let's talk about that before we talk about this. On the 12th or so, actually starting on the Venus moving into Scorpio on September the 10th, she's going to be here for quite a while. So you kind of get the first 9-10 days of September with Venus in Libra, which is really beauty and enjoyment of your local environment, friends, doing things in the social neighborhood landscape, maybe a pleasant trip or two. And then we hit, and that's the story she was telling you, August 6th to September 10th. And then here we have September 10th to October 25th. She is moving slowly. She is retrograding on October 3rd in Scorpio. Now, here's what I want you to think about. She only gets through this to 8 degrees. And then on October 3rd, she turns backwards and leaves Scorpio by October 25th. Don't worry, she'll be back later in the year. What is it you're thinking of doing here that you have to retrace your steps? You might be feeling like, okay, September 10th to October 3rd, I'm going to get something done. I'm going to redecorate the home. I'm going to have a female visit and live in my home. I'm going to do something investigative in the home. I'm going to do whatever Venus is doing down there, right? She's working her ass off down there. It could be about banks, loans, mortgages, and financing. It could be about real estate. She's good for that. It could be about decision you're making about your career. You're going forward, and then, oh my God, October 3rd, I got to backtrack. As soon as she crosses in here, she's kind of already showing you something. She's definitely in a opposition to a chironic wound, the key to purpose in the house of livelihood, vis-a-vis your childhood, your home, your nest, and who and where you live. And this is enough, this kind of crisis moment energy that you're feeling with a T-square to Pluto, to say something about December 12th may really make you feel like you need to leave your home, change your home, move your home, There's some shift of desire around where you wish to live, whether you can take action on it or not. Be careful, because the retrograde begins on October 3rd. And so all that momentum may mean you have to go back and rethink all that momentum. If you have a Leo sun, moon, and rising in the first, let's say 10 degrees of Leo, it's really impacting you more than those of you with later degrees of Leo. All right, then we're going to talk next. We will talk next. Trust you, trust me. We'll talk next about the story of Venus. Nope, we did Venus. Huh. We'll talk next about the story of the hard conversation, the moment where you have to have that conversation that is difficult. And it's coming up on the 18th of September. And if it is not a constrictive and difficult conversation that you have to muster courage to have, then that conversation is that information that's difficult, news or information that you consider difficult or hard to receive on the 18th of September, as Mercury will oppose a fallen Saturn. Let's take that sky and take a look at the time of the actual conversation. Alrighty? Hard conversation, Leo, right here. It's going to be pretty exact on September the 18th. And yet there's going to be a happy ending. So go from the 17th to the 19th and go, what the hell am I doing with this hard conversation or difficult news? It may involve news connected to a neighbor, a sibling, particularly maybe a sibling one younger than you or two older than you in birth order, and that two above you in birth order, one below you in birth order, and then the conversation or news or information that feels difficult. Now, all said and done, with Jupiter in your sign, there's a smoothing energy here, and I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to say. There may be a hard conversation with a silver lining or a happy ending, or information or news that feels challenging or difficult at first, but over the long game is smoothed out. It could involve the health of a sibling, as well, because Mercury is ruling your second house, and that's 12 houses from him. So a sibling with a health challenge, that could be the difficult news, for example. Positive news is the smoothing energy here, and that is because you're going to notice, or difficult news or constriction around travel plans. It looks like a delay, a glitch in your travel plans, a glitch in a sibling or local friendship or neighbor situation. Delay, challenge, constriction. And then the happy story for me is what Jupiter decides to do next. Jupiter gets in on the muscles in on the story, and that's going to be positive. So then we see that basically right after that, Jupiter gets into the mix between around the 21st. So I'm going to go the 20th to the 23rd and tries to smooth it all out. Right here, sextile. So I'm going to say the difficult news or circumstances become okay. Everything is going to work out. There's a solution. Jupiter says, I got it. I got you. I got it. It's all going to be fine. So worry not. All right. As we go forward, the sun is opposite Neptune. The sun is opposite Neptune. And the only thing I can say about that on the 24th to the 26th is that you are going to put a spotlight on an illusion, a delusion, something that you thought was true or real, but it wasn't. But you've already been pulling back the fog. You kind of knew this was the case. And it may be pulling back a fog of illusion regarding the situations of the local environment, the neighbors, friends from childhood, your siblings, your social media and online world, your writing and creativity and educational prospects. There's a light here that's using Neptunian defogging for visual clarity about realistic dreams and goals connected to education, travel, siblings, legal or court matters as well. It doesn't last long, 24 to the 26th. And because the sun is your ruler, it's important to you, because what the sun does, you pay attention. Sun in Libra, of course, September 22nd for a month is good for you. You like the Libra scales of justice flowing back at you. So you're feeling good about that. But this is a bit of a glitchy day here, 24 to the 26th. And then on the 26th itself, we have a full moon in the sign of Aries. Aries full moon is to light up something here that you planted in mid-April this year behind us. You planted a seed It may have been unfolding since then, particularly mid-April to early May. You made some changes in your ninth house. It could be your religious and spiritual practice and path. It could be making some changes to your educational journey, making some new seed plantings in April about things that you want to accomplish to do with book publishing or writing. New seeds also connected to court and justices and legal cases. Okay, those are all planted in April. Now we're coming into a lunation that says fulfillment or completion or harvest or ripening. And so now you're taking the next layer, the next iteration of that, and this is going to be important. Let's bring the full moon into the picture. Ah, what am I doing in October? The full moon is on September 26th. So the moon's crossing over 26th, 27th, time zone dependent. Okay, keep your time zone dependencies there. 26, 27. And what you've got is a big lunation here. Now you'll notice, of course, that the full moon is also co-joined with Saturn and Neptune, but it's also revealing something. It's revealing how and which way you can make a purpose, dharmic path, goal or dream true and real by having a clear lunar light on it, a real understanding of what variables you need to really deeply see. Chiron, as of September 17th, has ingressed backward into your ninth house. So there's a chironic wound connected to your purpose and being on purpose that's really being highlighted for you. Okay, you're like really looking at it squarely. And in the weeks and months after this full moon, you'll probably come out of it with a new career path or a new sense of where your trajectory goes with professional direction or accomplishment. Okay. And a sibling two older than you in birth order and a big illumination of circumstances involving the sibling born two above you in birth order. Okay, so then we are having to look away from the moon, which is ruled by Mars in debility, so it ain't too great there. Not liking that either. But now we're going to move away from, could be the health challenge of a father figure or a sibling too older than you as well, being illuminated on the full moon on the 26th, 27th of April. Of April. Of September. Oh, guys, don't even ask. Now, I just had this acupuncture session for an hour yesterday, and I'm so sore still, and I literally feel discombobulated. Like it's like was like intense. Can we just say intense acupuncture, anyone? But I'm healing my shoulder, and it's working, and I'm healing my some old whiplash injuries, and it's working. All right, so okay, so we have the Sun and Uranus trining for a surprise that feels happy and delightful. But Mercury did the same thing from the same place. So take yourself back to September 12th to the 14th, and then put yourself forward in time to around the 27th to the 29th. They may be interconnected, part one and part two. And this is going to be the Sun and trining Uranus. And so around the 27th to the 29th, there's another surprise or unexpected development, which is about third house and 11th. That's sibling energy, one older, one younger, or siblings in general, and some unexpected illumination and something positive. And Mercury's still here, travel, communication, information, siblings, surprise, positive, trining Pluto, of course, adding again that transformation, that explore, deep exploration of something between you and these other people. It can also be a really surprising outcome in a social media landscape with a windfall or some unexpected celebrity or positive development. And I kind of like the idea too that you could have some kind of unexpected positive developments regarding property, land, home, real estate, and rentals. That shows up with Saturn, Capricorn, kitey stuff as well. And but I see more likely it's travel related for a lot of you. And if you are working social media landscape, writing, publishing industries, especially, or all of that, this is a real nice little bit of celebratory light shining in your third house. All right. One more thing about the end of the month is Mars is going to finally leave Cancer, where he's been making everybody feel ill at ease. Thanks, Mars, for swimming in the Cancer swimming pool and having your water pistol ready. but he's getting out of there. He was there August 11th to September 27th. And then here we have him on the 28th, crossing the sign boundary into Leo. And in his sign boundary Leo crossing, he'll be in the fire sign of the lion, until November 25th. This is good for your soul. You guys are going to be passionate, inspired, motivated, uplifted, and moving with momentum in your life. And you could almost say that you've got your competitive spirit and you've got your high spirits going, and Jupiter expands that energy. So it's like your decisions, your actions, your motivation, and your willpower are aligned with Jupiter, wisdom, truth, and knowledge, and South Node, letting go and surrendering. The more you let go, the more you succeed. And this is like divine will channels through you. The day of the ingress into the 28th, 29th, 30th of September, there's an opposition to Pluto, which of course will feel a little bit gritty. There may be a power struggle with somebody in your life. This is the house of the spouse. This is the house of the significant business partner. This is the house of your audience. That could be a troll. I don't know. But you're good to go. You got Jupiter. You're like the moral sheriff, the righteous sheriff. You're the high commander in chief here of the reality story. And you got this, whatever this opposition from Pluto is about. You are in charge. Saturn says it could be about a sibling too older. It could be some kind of confrontation about legal or court cases, especially involving marriages, or even just something to do with a confrontation with another person regarding your spiritual belief. I don't know. But whatever that moment in time is testing you a little bit on the 28th, 29th, 30th of the month. It's giving you a testing, but you're up to the test. You are up to the test. Okay. All right. Gotcha. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Go to the end of this video, because at the end of this video, you have me talking about, right after this, I'm showing you the back end of LoriLothian.com, and I'm talking about the course and some commonly asked questions like an FAQ. So come back and watch that. Come to Sky Reader. I'd like to see you in class. Everything else about me is in the description box below. All of my courses, all of my stuff, everything I do, websites, emails, everything under the description box in the video. Thank you. Hello, Astro Curious Soul. This is your overview of Sky Reader, and I want to tell you a bit about the program. I'm going to show you the website that I'm hosting it at, myLoriLothian.com. I want to share a bit about my excitement for this course and why I think it might be right for you. First of all, if you're one of those people who watches all of my videos and then ask me these very intelligent questions in the comments all of the time about why this and why that and how this and how that, then you're probably already ready for this course, because it is your curiosity about how to read the sky. That is what Sky Reader is for. Astrology is about the map of time. It's so simple. It's like a GPS of time. And once you learn the basic language of your natal chart, then you'll learn some easy to use timing tools that even a beginner can learn with me. You're going to begin to navigate your reality with a better flow, a better ease, a better kind of sense that you know how to move through the world in a way that has your best interest at heart, because you're flowing with the things that are happening anyway. You're moving in the direction that the sky is taking you. So instead of resisting, instead of digging your heels in, or even going in a misdirection temporarily, the universe always course corrects. You can move wholeheartedly with great faith in the universe into the path that the sky is opening for you. Now, life is full of ups and downs, and astrology can't take those away. So even learning to read your sky doesn't mean you learn to avoid any of life's normal storylines. It means that you now have your eye on the ball, you have your heads up of timing your best life. And sometimes timing your best life is nothing more than being able to navigate what you can see coming and respond to it in a more mature, aware, and present way. You know, I had this big calamity happen a while ago, and I could see that I was being grabbed by the sky. And this interpersonal difficulty wasn't just about the other person. It was about the sky playing out in the real world, real-time sky, relative to my personal Aquarius rising natal chart. And because I realized it was just the sky playing out, I was able not to become interacting with the ordeal in a reactive way. So there's a lot of really good ways you can use astrology to do your life better. A lot of my students come back every single year. If you take my class once, you get to take it again and again forever. Plus, you get to keep the content as well and upgrade yourself. And when you come back as a student for the second time, it is 75% off, which is incredibly amazing, given that each time there's new content and new guest teachers, as well as, of course, me teaching you to read your own sky and time your best life. So this is the website, LoriLothian.com/sky-reader. If you want to find that way, or just Google Google LoriLothian.com and Skyreader, and you'll find this page usually showing up in the search engine. Now, throughout the month of August, we have our early bird discount rate of $397. The course is $555, and that is actually a deal for the 7 weeks with me, plus the live calls and the Q&As, plus moderating staff, teaching staff helping me, and a Facebook group and a Discord group this year as well. Now, Read Your Own Sky, 7-week foundation. Here you go. I'm not going to redo this. This is a little video of me explaining it to you that's already uploaded to the website. Now, you can do monthly installments in payment plans if you need to, if money is any issue for you. For those of you in really deep need, like, you know what I mean, like needs-based tuition kind of discounts, you'll have to reach out to my team, and you'll see that the information for that will be available here on the website, but it would be hello@inbox.LoriLothian.com. But really, the course is already well priced. So here we have me with a funny picture of me. Thanks, team. I love it. I look like I'm very happy, and I'm wearing white. Isn't that sweet? And then one of the things I will show you about, not the whole sales page, is what the program is actually about. So here's some of the outline of the actual material. As you can see, we have what I call the big four. You're going to learn about this is the second class. The first one is your absolutely slow start, super kindergarten hand-holding level to introduce you to the very basic tenets of how to read a sky, what the sky looks like, and what the ingredients of the sky are made out of. So that's your overview course. Some of you may not need that. Some of you may have been well established at astrology already, and for you, this will be extremely boring. But everyone who knows me knows that I think that the foundations in a beginning class, just understanding the language right away, is going to be crucial. You're learning a new language like French or Greek or whatever, and you're not going to get it all at once. It's going to take time, just like osmosis, like more exposure to it. So this is our week one, slow start overview. And then we move into the course itself. You can go to the website and click the details, the big four of the 12 houses, planetary dignity, planets and aspects, time lords, helmsmen, and annual profections. Now, this last part of the course, this is your golden ticket to success. You might think you know about, for example, annual profections. Well, I've been teaching annual profections for years, and I've got some insider trading tips there for you about how to use it in a way you may not have heard of before. And it's so easy to use that you could teach your kids and children and, friends and fam to use it once you get the lay of that land. And solar returns, of course, the birthday chart. Everyone loves their birthday chart. It gives you a whole snapshot of everything that happens at a given age. Again, I've taught this class many times, and I've also done this for clients for 7 or 8 years, and you'll be learning a few things you won't find anywhere else about how to read that solar return chart and understand what happens in the year. Everything about this course leads to how to time your life. This is not a course that's teaching you how to navel gaze. I'm not here to show you the quirks of your personality in the simulation called life. I'm not here to help you navigate your past and talk about why it happened. Those are not the courses we're teaching. We're teaching you how to read the sky so you can use the GPS metric of the sky, astrology, as a map of time to time your best life. So this is a course that teaches you to become an forecaster or a navigator of reality in a more successful way. So reminding you of that. I get people in this class who want to talk about my Chiron, or my Pluto. And I'm like, nah, no, we don't do that. This is not going to dive into your archetypal, character in the simulation, your wounds and stuff like that. We're learning to teach you how to time your life in this particular class. All right. Now, this is my 7th year teaching, as a lot of you know, so I've gotten to know a lot of the issues that come up, and that was just one of those issues that is routinely showing up. We have 7 core classes. We have 28 actual sessions. We have teaching team Q&A plus me on my own Q&A. So you've got a couple Q&As to choose from per week. We change the time. So everywhere in the world, you'll probably be able to make one. Everything I do has a course replay. Everything I do is loaded into the teaching platform for you to keep forever. If you can't make the live classes, if you can't make any of the Q&As, you can still come and learn from me. However, I'm not reselling this course. I have never resold this course as a self-study. So if you really want to jump in, this would be your chance. And I always say I may not teach it next year. It's always possible with 2 books in my on the shelf to finish, 2 books to finish, 1 astrology, 1 spiritual awakening, and actually 1 fiction book. I would like to get those written in the next year. So just be aware of that. This can be an introduction to my next course next year, Map Maker and also Code Breaker. In other words, this would give you the basic understanding to jump into my more intensive and more advanced courses next year. Now, I have guest workshops every year. Last year I had 4 teachers, now I have 6. This is just bonus content. This is just extra material for you to enjoy. So we begin on October 1st. Every Thursday we have guest teachers, and I will see if I can figure out where on my website that my team put that. But just so you know, those guest workshops will teach you some very fundamental, fun things to do in astrology. So here we have it. 6 ways to see where it can lead. Lovely, lovely team headlines here. So one of my colleagues and students, former students, Sinette Caldwell Barr, is doing the 4 Purushara. I always can't say this word, Purusharthas, and this is a great tool of understanding where your purpose, your prosperity, your spiritual liberation, and your pleasure and your money stuff lie in your chart. So I think you'll enjoy that. It's easy to learn. It's very powerful, and it really does help you see how to navigate life. Mel is going to be teaching where in the world you might want to live or travel based on astrology and how you can look at your astrocartography chart. And we'll also have Laura Basseni teaching about the Cosmic Wellness Blueprint. She is a health coach, but also a medically trained astrologer, like medical astrology. And you'll learn some basics about finding your own energetic elemental and modality elements for better health and wellness, and also prevention, I suppose. Donnie Lim, my colleague, who's very much an expert on all things Venus. You guys may have seen him on my channel with me doing world astrology. He's really fun to hang with. Is teaching the divine feminine cycles for timing, okay? Divine feminine cycles and timing. And so he'll be taking you down the Venus conversation road for her cycles and how to use that in your life for all ways to move forward, especially with love and pleasure and desire and money. Justin McClure is an electional astrology teacher today for us in our course, and he will teach you how to choose the best time to launch your business, make that phone call, hire that lawyer, whatever, get married, etc. Electional astrology teaches you some of the basic understanding that when you begin something, then you set in motion that thing forever. In other words, it bears like a birth chart stamp. So knowing when to launch something into motion is important. It's funny, a lot of us astrologers on YouTube do this all the time. When we want to do something big and splashy or promote something, we'll look for a very good sky and a very good time of day in that sky to put it out for you guys on YouTube. So you'll also notice all of a sudden every astrologer is emailing you on the same day. A lot of us are using electional times. Tara and Renee will be teaching us the cosmic magic of numerology when you blend it with astrology. I love this combination. I've been doing this for myself for years. So if you want to learn how to illuminate your reality by making these 2 pieces of the real estate, numerology and astrology, 2 occult disciplines come together, that's your ticket to fun. All of these courses on Thursday evenings, okay, at 6 p.m. Pacific time, are available for you for replay and self-study, and you get to keep them forever. But if you attend live, of course, you can ask questions for the teacher and be engaged in a live learning process. Now, just alone, these courses would be easily costing a couple $100 for 6 courses. So you can see what a deal Sky Reader really is. We come together every single Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Adjust for your time in Europe. Usually you guys are 8 hours difference than we are in Pacific time, but ask Siri, Google, or timeanddate.com, etc. So you know exactly when we're coming together. And here we have a lovely little schedule drawn up of all of the times for everything to happen. You could just take a look at that by going to the website, screenshot it or whatever, but there you are. So we may not repeat this live edition. I always say that. You always never believe me, but there will be a point, 7th year teaching, you get the 7-year itch, which is a Saturn cycle, that I may have to take a break in order to write some of these books that I need to get done or that I want to get done. So go ahead, Facebook group, Discord group. It's not where I'm monitoring your homework, but you do get homework. It's where you got collaboration and support from my moderators, encouragement. You can tag me or my moderators for help, but I'm not there checking your homework like you're being certified by me to become an astrologer, but it is a very useful group. Other students ahead of you or former students will probably be there. People help each other when you're confused, and my moderators will also be astrologers who are also supporting you when you have questions about what you're doing. Nobody in this course is doing the work for you. You do get homework. It's totally optional. It's to practice the methods you're learning as you learn them. All right, so here we have it. We're at the end of it. These are some great people who decided, my students, to give me some wonderful testimonials over the years in the various classes I've taught. You're seeing a lot of my last class group, the Divine Timing Masterclass. Give me some commentary there. But Sky Reader, people come back every year to do it over and over again because it actually is a lot of fun. So I hope some of you will consider joining me. And I am so excited. We have a nice little gathering of 29 countries and 325 students already signed up. And we are well supported to make sure that you have a good time and that you don't get lost as you go along. I do have staff, I have teaching assistants, but it is me in that Zoom room for 2 hours. It usually ends up being 2 hours every single Saturday. And I'm also available in one of the weekly Q&As of the 2 each week. All right. Thanks, guys. Don't forget, this is just an overview. Hopefully it gives you some lay of the land. Go to LoriLothian.com/sky-reader.
Lunatic Astrology.